Today's video is about a gifted soul singer whose life was ruthlessly cut short due to an unfortunate event involving a love triangle. Today's video is all about Darrell Banks. Before we start today's video, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. Darrell Banks was born on July 25th, 1937 in Mansfield, Ohio. He's an illegitimate son of a 27-year-old Kentucky man and a 17-year-old teenager who left Darrell to be raised by her parents. Darrell and his half-sister Lois was members of the Shiloh Baptist Church in Mansfield, Ohio, where Darrell sang in the church's choir. His family relocated to Buffalo, New York when he was just a child. Now after high school, Darrell married a white woman named Beverly K. Simmons, and the couple, they went on to have two children, a son named Darrell Jr. and a girl named Bambi Lynn. The marriage took place in the 60s, which interracial relationships was very frowned upon. The marriage ended in the mid-60s, and the children remained with their mother. Darrell chose to put his ability on display by pursuing a career in secular music. Darrell took the surname Banks and befriended a dentist and nightclub owner named Doc Murphy. Murphy allowed Banks to perform at his club, where he was able to showcase his youthful singing abilities. He was also part of two local groups called Daddy B Combo and the Grand Priest while playing at this nightclub. In 1966, Darrell attracted enough attention to secure a deal with Viva La Records. Here is where Banks was able to display both his singing and songwriting abilities. In 1966, Banks released his debut single, Open the Door to Your Heart.
Walk right on in, stretch out your arm.
Followed by Our Love. Later that year, Banks released two more singles with Somebody Needs You,
Walks out on you, and you feel you have no one.
and Baby What You Got.
I thought that I'm but now the word was.
In 1967, his debut album was released called Darrell Banks Is Here. That following year, Banks signed to Atco Records, where he released four singles, Here Comes the Tears,
And said goodbye. And though it's been so long,
I Got That Feeling,
I can't wait to get back to that lover.
Angel Baby,
Then don't you spread your wings, angel baby, don't you never leave me.
and Look Into the Eyes of a Fool.
Oh, fell in love with you.
Neither song charted. During his final years with Atco, he was moved to Continue Records, where he released his last two singles, I Wanna Go Home,
That I'll never do wrong. Like,
and The Love of My Woman.
oh yeah. So troubled in my mind, I just couldn't stay.
By 1969, Banks signed a new deal with Stax Records. Now with Stax, Banks released a few singles with Just Because Your Love Is Gone,
I'm hurt, but I can't feel the pain, no.
I'm the One Who Loves You,
As they did yesterday, I can't help
Beautiful Feeling,
since I met you, baby. Maybe it was the way.
and No One Blinder.
Girl did everything that she could to me.
Now these songs was followed by his second album called Darrell Is Here to Stay in 1969. On a frigid night on February 24th, 1970, a dispute broke out between two men and a woman. The second individual, who was later identified as a police officer named Aaron Bullock, shot Banks in the neck. Bullock's girlfriend, Margie Bozeman, was reportedly in a sexual relationship with both Banks and Bullock, but she was trying to break things off with Banks at the time. Bullock was apparently attempting to intervene in the alleged incident between Banks and Bozeman. According to witnesses, Bullock dropped off Bozeman at her house on the Detroit West Side around 11 o'clock p.m. Banks, who was waiting in his car near her house, approached Bullock and Bozeman. Banks grabbed Bozeman's coat and told her that he needed to talk to her. Bullock presented himself as a police officer and demanded Banks to release Bozeman. According to the allegations, Banks drew a pistol from his belt and aimed it at Bullock, who then fired his firearm in retaliation, hitting Banks in the neck. According to Bozeman's friends, she was last seen with Banks as early as February 22nd. According to the Michigan Chronicle, the first public statement of Banks' death was made on March 7th, 1970. It was also reported that prior publications stated his demise as early as March 4th. So, taking all of this into consideration, that means Banks was dead for a full 8 days before anyone knew. He was only 32 years old.